I think the cloud done correctly has really transformed the enterprise. It's allowed organisations to be more agile, to attain cost efficiencies, and to really develop applications and to move a lot faster than they have historically. It's also allowed internal IT to set a lot of the agenda within organisations by leading the charge in terms of actually developing the applications, whereas historically they've really been the guys who've reacted to organisational change. They're now the guys that are helping to push organisational change. But that's something that we've seen historically where not everybody is seeing that change coming to fruition. We've seen lots of customers who have had a few issues in terms of moving to a cloud-based infrastructure. And we actually commissioned a survey earlier this year with Enterprise Management Associates to look at the issues that people were having in terms of moving to the cloud. And one of the things that we found in there that was actually fascinating, that there was a 98% response rate from UK respondents who were saying that they were having some issue in terms of moving into the cloud. Now those issues could have been from small to minor to major, but again it was an interesting fact that we saw in the marketplace. And that's really led us to understand that what we need to deliver is services that are based on interaction with the customer, understanding the customer's requirements, and really working with the customer and having that human interaction with the customer to help them on board as they move to the cloud infrastructure. Financial benefits can be huge. We've seen customers of our own who have shut down their own data centres. £46 million data centres that have been shut down and allowed them to move to a OPEX-based model. Now, obviously, the OPEX-based costs compared to that are going to be minuscule in comparison. But that's a very high example, and that example doesn't occur in every single instance. And again, we see many customers who really, because they don't see and understand their own internal costs, it makes it very difficult for them to understand the cost benefits that they are going to see in the marketplace. And a couple of other things that we've seen historically are that with the current issues of huge price wars going on in the cloud space, we're finding that that's creating even more confusion for customers. A lot of customers, or a lot of potential customers, are really just looking at that lowest cost base, having numbers thrown at them from other providers without really understanding what those costs mean, without understanding the complexities of the bills they're going to get, without understanding the service that's actually being delivered or what's actually wrapped within that service. And that is creating a lot of confusion in the marketplace. And that obviously leads to people really not having a true handle on those cost efficiencies and those savings. And again, from our perspective, it's something that we've looked at historically, and it's allowed us to go away and develop our own portals that allow people to have that visibility into those performance metrics, into those cost metrics. So again, people can really see what they're actually being charged for, what services are actually being bundled in with that. Again, historically, we've had some customers who've come to us and said we've bought service X and Y, but we didn't realise that the support element, which is the actual bit, as I mentioned earlier, where customers really need help to onboard, which is that physical interaction, wasn't actually part of the service. And again, understanding that really helps people understand the cost benefits. But the cost benefits and the savings are there to be had. But it really needs to be done in a very controlled way. Understand your requirements, understand the visibility and the performance that you're actually getting to maintain, to make sure that the performance is the same as you would be getting on your on-premise environment.